Canner families, happy Tuesday! Today is a different kind of Tuesday. We're going to be talking about all of our subjects in this video since technically today is the first day of school this week. So we're going to talk about our reading, writing, and math, and we're also going to be talking about social studies, STEM, gym, art, health, and music for this week. So let's get started with reading. In reading this week, we're reading a new story. It's called No, Lily, Don't. It's about that same silly cat named Lily that we read about 2 weeks ago. Today, they want you to search for sight words and read this story. Remember, there's a couple different ways you can read the story. You should have a copy of the book in your packet that you got a couple weeks ago. Otherwise, there's also a video on our classroom website of Mrs. Blatchley reading the story to you. So you can read along with me or you can read by yourself. I'll let you choose. So go ahead and read that book today. Look for sight words you know and try to review. There's some vocabulary that we talked about yesterday. If you haven't watched that video, just pop on over and watch it really quick so you can learn about that vocabulary. Then you've got in your handwriting practice today, we're working on the letter Y. When we write the letter Y, we do a slant down, lift it up, and slant way down. So a Y has two straight lines, and one of them goes below the bottom line when we're drawing our letter Y. So every time you see one of those black dots, make sure you draw a letter Y. On the back, we're stretching out two Y words. These are words you may have heard before. You may not have heard them before, so I'm going to kind of help you with them today. That first one looks like a potato, but it's actually a yam. Y-am. Y-am. Yam. The next one is a yak. Y-ack. Yak. They both start with the letter Y, so that should give you a hint. Then we're going to write two sentences. This is my yarn. Yarn. Stretch that out. Then the next sentence is, this is my yard. Yard. Stretch those two words out. Do your kindergarten best, friends. And there's also an optional video lesson for you guys on some sight words that we have been practicing and that we're going to practice this week. So you can click on that link or type it into your computer to look at that video lesson. Let's talk about writing for this week. We are going to be writing persuasive letters this week, but before we get started with Tuesday, I just want to talk to you really quick about what we asked you to do on Monday. But remember, Monday was optional, so if you didn't do Monday because you took a day off, awesome. That's totally fine. Here's what we did on Monday. We made a list of things that you want and who you can ask to get those things. So there's a piece of paper in your packet that looks like this. It's talking about how to write a persuasive letter. Sometimes we want something, but we have to convince other people that it's a good idea. Maybe you want to borrow your sister's favorite toy. Maybe you want a new pet, or you want your mom to buy you ice cream at the grocery store. In your letter, tell someone what you want and why you should have it. For example, you might want a new pet, you might want a new toy, you may want ice cream. You're trying to persuade them, you're trying to get them to do something or to give you something. So what they asked you to do on Monday was to write down what do you want and who are you going to ask to get it. If you want a new pet, who do you ask to get a new pet? If you want some ice cream, who do you ask to get ice cream? So write down what do you want and who you will ask. So 3 different people or 3 different things, and then the people that you're going to ask to get those things. So that was Monday. If you haven't done that, go ahead and do that really quick now. And then we're moving on to Tuesday. We're writing our persuasive letters today. So you should have gotten this page in your packet as well. It's writing persuasive letters, and it's going to give you a little bit of more information. At the bottom, there's a QR code. If you hold your phone up to that, your camera on your phone, there should be like a little link that'll pop up. You can click on that and it'll be a video of someone reading the story, I Wanna Iguana. And this boy is writing some persuasive letters to try to convince his parents that he should get an iguana as a pet. It's a really funny story. We read it every year in kindergarten, so I definitely recommend that you watch that before you start writing your letters. It gives you a really good idea about what a persuasive letter is like. But let's talk about the things that we need in a persuasive letter. We need a greeting, like how you start the letter. You need to tell them, what do you want? What are you trying to persuade them to do? 2 reasons why you want that thing. Like if you want an iguana, got to give reasons why you want the iguana. Then you need a closing. sign your name, and then as always, we always make sure that our writing has spaces, punctuation, and we use our uppercase letters at the beginning. Now, this looks an awful lot like the letter that we already wrote for the past couple of weeks, but it's going to be a tiny, tiny, tiny bit different. So there's an example in your packet. There's some blank letters in your packet, and I made another video about writing a persuasive letter instead of just a regular letter for you to watch on our classroom website. So you have lots and lots and lots of things to help you this week write your persuasive letters. If you have any questions about your letters, please send me a message. I'd love to talk to you about it. I would also love to see your letters. If you're writing a letter to your mom or your dad, take a picture of it and send it to me so I can see what you're writing. I'm super excited to see what you guys try to persuade people to do this week. Now let's talk about math. In math today, you don't have some pages in your math book to do. You have some worksheets in your packet. They're just kind of fun. We wanted to give you a little bit of a break from your math book today. So here's what the first one says. Cut out, and put the fish in a bowl to solve the story problem. Here's what it says. I have 4 fish. I got 6 more fish. How many fish are there in all? So you're going to cut out those fish on the bottom. You can color them if you want to. Color them first, then cut them out. Stick all your fish on the table first. Then you say, I have 4 fish. Put 4 fish in the fish bowl. Then you got 6 more. Add 6 more fish and count how many fish are in your fish bowl. Then on the bottom, you're going to write the equation. 4 fish plus 6 fish equals how many fish? Then you have another worksheet that you guys can do if you have some extra time. This one is about puppies. 8 puppies were in the dog bed. 3 of them ran away. How many puppies are left? So you're going to cut out 8 puppies and put them in the puppy bed. Then you're going to take 3 of them away, or you can just cross 3 of them out and do your equation. 8 puppies, take away 3 puppies equals how many puppies are left? So that's your math today, just 2 worksheets. We thought it'd be kind of nice to take a break from our math book and do a little bit of extra practice today, okay? Now let's talk about our other subjects that we didn't talk about yesterday, social studies. This week in social studies, we have a tic-tac-toe page for you to do. So this is a little bit of something different in social studies. We haven't done this yet. It says start in the middle square, then choose 2 other boxes to make a tic-tac-toe 3 in a row. So the middle square, it says start here. I completed my social studies work from week 5. That means it wants you to go back and make sure you finished all of these worksheets from last week in our in our social studies books. So finish all of these ones that I have right here in this picture, and then there's 2 others, but those are kind of really extra ones. These are the ones that are important, talking about bodies of water and landforms. So get these 4 done, then you can choose 2 other ones all around your tic-tac-toe board. And here's what they say. The first one says, create a landform out of material in or around your home, like sand or Play-Doh, blankets, or flour. So they want you to make some landforms, mountains, hills, plains, or islands out of things in your house. That sounds like fun. The next one says, go on a walk and look for landforms. Can you see a hill, pond, river, or a lake? I bet you can find one pretty close to your house. Then it says, look in a book for a landform. What did you find? Are there mountains in your storybook? Does your princess live in a castle that's on a hill? I'm sure there's lots of landforms in your stories. Maybe they live in an island. That's a landform. Then the next one says, talk with a big person or a grown-up about a landform that you have visited. Maybe you've been to an island before. Maybe you've climbed a mountain before. Talk about one that you have visited, or maybe that a grown-up has visited. Draw a picture of 2 different landforms and label them. Draw a picture of an island. Draw a picture of some mountains. The next one says, search a map for a landform. Tell someone what you found. Look on a map for landforms. There's lots of things you can find. You could even look for bodies of water too. Those are a little bit easier to find on a map. Then the next one says, an online option, explore BrainPop. BrainPop has so many fun videos for you to watch about landforms and lots of other social studies things. And it's free right now, so definitely go check that out if you can. Then the last one is move your body like you're climbing a mountain. Move your body like you're swimming in the ocean. Move your body like you're rowing down a river, or move your body like you're sledding down a hill. That sounds like an awful lot of fun. And you could do that instead of your gym today. That could be your gym activity. You could write that down. So definitely check out those. So they want you to do the one in the middle. Like I said, finish those worksheets, then pick 2 things to do this week for social studies. Let's talk about STEM. This week, Miss Life wants you to do 2 different things. The first one is I can give examples of water. So you're going to read the storybook that she has for you. It's called Where is Water? I don't have a picture of that, but it's in your packet, so you should look for that. And it says, tell someone 2 examples of where water can be found in the world. Then the next lesson is I can observe water, and this is the worksheet that you're going to be using for that. It says pour water in a glass. Then you're going to use your 5 senses to observe the water. You're going to use your eyes to see the water. You're going to use your ears to hear the water. You're going to use your nose to smell the water. Use your mouth to taste the water, and use your fingers to touch the water. And in those boxes, talk about what are some things that you noticed. What did you see? What did you hear? What did you smell? What did you taste? What did you touch? All right? You might need a grown-up or a big kid to help you with this one if you want to write down some specific words, but you can also just do your kindergarten best. And remember, Miss Life would love to hear from you if you want to send her an email with your pictures. And as always, we've got our bingo board of lots of things to choose from in gym. Remember, you have tons and tons and tons of activities listed on this indoor and outdoor activities list from week 1. So find some of those fun things to do. You should have a new little checklist at the bottom of the letter from the gym teachers this week. And if you're just going to go on a walk with your family, that counts. If you're playing tag with your brother or sister, that counts. If you're doing Go Noodle with your family, that counts. If you have a dance party with your family, that counts too. You've got lots and lots of fun ways to exercise your body while you're sitting at home. And make sure you tell Mr. Volk what you're doing. He would love to hear from you. Then we've got art. This week in art, it says create puppets to show different feelings. Trace and cut the puppet template or use materials at home. You could use paper towel tubes, an old sock, paper bags, and lots of other things to make your puppets. So here's what your puppet template looks like in your packet. So you're going to decorate this puppet here, and you choose what you want your emotion to look like. Maybe you want to have an excited puppet, or a scared puppet, or a sad puppet, or an angry puppet. You get to decide what you want to do. You don't have to use the template if you don't want to. You could just make them out of something else, like those pictures at the top there. But I think you guys can come up with some really creative ways to make different emotions on your puppets this week. And take some pictures of them. I want to see them. Then in health this week, we are discussing feelings and emotions. Answer the question, when you feel blank, where can you feel the feeling? Track your feelings on the feeling tracker. For example, when I get mad, sometimes I get a headache. When I feel sad, I feel my shoulders get tight and my eyes get hot. So here is an example of what it looks like. Each day of the week, you're going to keep track of how you're feeling. Just pick one time of day. You don't have to check it every single time you change your emotion all day long. But you can check how did you feel in that one moment. So you can say happy, silly, upset, afraid, angry, or sad. And then on the bottom, there are all across the bottom there, it says, I felt happy blank times a week. I felt afraid this many times a week. I felt silly. I felt angry. I felt upset. I felt sad. And you're going to track how many times you had different emotions this week. All right. So like I said, this doesn't need to be done all day long. Just pick one time a day, or maybe at the end of the day, think about how did you feel for most of the day and color in that smiley face or sad face or afraid face. And then start keeping track on the bottom of how many days you felt different emotions. All right. And last but not least, we have music. Our music teachers came up with a new tic-tac-toe board for you guys to do. And there's an extra tic-tac-toe board for you to do as well. Oh my goodness, it looks like there's some fun ones, like the Trolls dance party. Yes, please. That's what I want to do. And as always, Miss Bunnell misses you so much, and she wants to hear from you guys. So definitely go ahead and send her an email showing her all the fun things you're doing with music at home. Oof. All right, we made it through everything, Kinder Friends. Remember this week, don't stress, do what you can, take lots of breaks, and remember, Kinder friends, you are smart. Happy Tuesday, friends. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.